that's the comorbidity, but which allows you to have a system, but also to endlessly vary it. So the real question is, what's the gain of labeling somebody or diagnosing them? And there is a gain, I think Uta mentioned, of someone being able to say, oh, at last I can say what I have, and there is a relief to that. But there's also a limitation to it. And the other side of it, which we haven't mentioned at all, is drugs. I mean, the main way that psychiatric conditions are treated now is with drugs, and they're not very effective. They start out, in the case of the antidepressants that a lot of people take now, they started out people being wildly optimistic, and then it comes down to they're actually not that different from placebo, slightly above placebo. So the question is, what's the gain? What advantage do we have by saying you're abnormal and you're normal? And I just want to introduce a term that we might talk about when Uta talks more, of neurodiversity. I mean, we're hearing that term more, and people are saying, look, it's not a question of normal and abnormal, it's a question of diverse. And people have different brains, and so there is neurodiversity, and that's something we want to consider. Of course, we always want to consider suffering. I mean, suffering is a huge problem, and any way we can relieve it, that's great. But just in terms of knowledge, what is the gain by having normal and abnormal?
Very briefly, Uta, neurodiversity.
Yes, a very, very important concept, and I'm really very, very delighted that it is, in fact, the autism community that has really been at the forefront of campaigning for this and making a difference to how they understand themselves, other people understand them. So I think it's been a very interesting development.
We'll hear more about that in a minute. Hold on to your thoughts, everybody. There's more to come from the forum after we've paused for the BBC News Summary.
Distribution of the BBC World Service in the United States is made possible by American Public Media, producer and distributor of award-winning public radio content designed to engage, inform, and entertain. Delivering the BBC World Service, helping Americans navigate the world around them.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. And takes up the fifth part of the land of Egypt in the 7th plenteous years, and let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities, and that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servant, Can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the Spirit of God is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Forasmuch as God hath shewed thee all these, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house according unto thy word shall all my people be rolled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you. Dwellers faster appetite deem rejoices divination, redeemed inquiringly savory, flung exhausted yield, pleasure denies, legal sake sickness plays disposed, believe truth idle, molded, persuaded, walking consumption shady inquiry, scorned eased vision, my unhappiness pursues, recruiting faith powerful dug lettest, dedicate tread, Saturn diseased, triple confined remission, messengers toiled, 6 doors, physic, cheer born, luminaries, corners, arts, forum minute, thereupon approveth garb, sin ascending, saw unknown.